On the 8th of December 1922, the Free State government executed Liam Mellows and his three comrades, Joe McKearney, Dick Barrett and Rory O'Connor. It was an act of vengeance, a reprisal for the shooting the previous day of Sean McHale. However, McKearney and his three comrades had been in prison for 6 months and had absolutely nothing to do or no knowledge of the shooting. It was a pure act of vengeance. Liam Mellows was one of the leading figures in the Irish Revolution of the early 20th century. He had been a principal mover behind the expansion and development of Fianna Éireann prior to the Rising. He was a mover and prime mover behind the Irish volunteer movement, took part and helped following the Redmondite departure in reorganising the volunteers into a Republican volunteer movement, and he led the Rising in 1916 in the west of Ireland and Galway. Thereafter, he took part in helping and organising support for the Irish Republic from the United States before he returned to Ireland in 1920. However, for the moment, I would like to concentrate on his significant contribution to what we might describe as events and how it reflects on what we're looking at today. While in prison in Mountjoy, Liam Mellows composed what we now know as the Mountjoy Notes, in which he outlined the need for a policy review of Republican movement, not to concentrate purely on militarism, but to have a social and economic policy that would win the support of the Irish working class. Liam Mellows had been heavily influenced by his meetings with James Connolly and the Connolly family in general and his experiences during the 1913 lockout. What Mellows proposed was that republicanism in Ireland would adopt a policy to support the working class, that it would adopt much of the policies that had been outlined in Roddy Connolly's Workers' Republic, which was the publication of the then newly established Communist Party of Ireland. He advocated support for the working people, for trade unions, and he also outlined the fact that the treaty itself effectively simply meant recolonisation of Ireland. He was condemnatory of imperialism, and he also had very harsh words to say for the official Irish trade union movement, which at that stage was supportive of the treaty and supportive of the Common Gael government that had taken over. Liam Mellows left us with an indelible mark, a contribution to thinking for socialist Republicans. He outlined the need not simply to adhere to an aspiration for socialism, but to actually promote the concept in our day-to-day activities, to ensure that socialism becomes a real live issue and that it will be seen to be the hallmark of a new workers' republic, that we must work on it day to day, as has been said before by our comrades in South Africa. Socialism is the future. We must start to work on it today. This is something Mellows would have identified with, and did identify with, and we salute his memory.